Hey there, folks! Welcome to my nightmare. Today's video is going to be a weekly watch video. That's right, every single week I watch a bunch of movies, and on the weekend I show you what I watched. Usually I keep it at 2 movies per day, Monday through Friday. This week I have a stack of random horror films. That's right, it is Random Horror Film Week. Some of which are classic horror films, and some of them are obscure and rare. Some of them you've never even heard of. But we're going to take a look at what I picked, starting with Monday. We have Reanimator. That's right, Herbert West up to his experiments with fresh corpses that are being reanimated. This movie still holds up today. It is one of the greatest horror movies ever made. And that was also quoted by Entertainment Weekly. And they're not wrong. This is the Anchor Bay Collection DVD. I also own it on Arrow Video. But yes, awesome movie. Had to revisit it. Still love it. Also, on Monday, I watched The Human Centipede 2 full sequence. Now, The Human Centipede 1 was first sequence with that crazy-ass doctor. Here you have a security guard named Martin who tries to copy what the doctor did by making a human centipede. But Martin's centipede is a 12-person centipede. Okay? The doctor only had a 3-person centipede. So, yeah, you do the math. It's a lot more people in this centipede. And he starts to mess up the whole thing. It's a lot more brutal than the first movie. But I like it. So, that was Monday. Let's move on to Tuesday. I watched Eden Lake. Yes. Kelly Riley, Michael Fassbender. Basically, this couple, they go down to the lake, spend the day. They run into these kids who are messing with them. You know, they're calling them names. They're kind of harassing them. And then it turns for the worst to where these kids actually start to torture Michael Fassbender's character and go after Kelly's character as well. And yeah, it's almost like a cat and mouse game after that, but it's really disturbing in some instances. And what happens to Michael Fassbender in this, I feel sorry for him. But it's a good movie, and it's Dimension Extreme. Really enjoyed it. Also on Tuesday, I watched Hostel Part 2, which was directed by Eli Roth, and in ways I like this more than the first Hostel movie. The first Hostel movie was almost like what they call torture porn, where, you know, the 3 backpackers go to the hostel, they have sex with the girls, and then they get tricked into, you know, they get tricked into having sex with these girls, they drug them, and then drag them off to the factory where they torture them, these rich people. But you get to see the story unfold here on who these rich people are and why they're doing what they're doing to these people. They're killing people and torturing them for, you know, they spend a lot of money to do so. They bid on them like an auction. And I love that this is almost, you see the point of the rich person as far as the perspective goes. You see their point of view. Instead of 3 guys backpacking, this time it's 3 girls, so they switch it up there. But I like the story more in this one. I think this is more story driven than the first one was, so I liked it. Moving on to Wednesday, I watched a movie that you probably never heard of, and it's called The Redwood Massacre. Basically, you have a bunch of people who visit this property where this murder took place. And it's like a legendary murder site. And these campers actually, they go to this site and they find out that the legend's real. This guy walks around, this maniac with an axe. He walks around killing people, and he reminds me of Jason, just the way he moves, the way he looks. He almost has like the sackcloth over his head like Jason did in part 2. But I think this looks more badass. But this guy's crazy. This is a damn good film, guys. If you have not seen the Redwood Massacre, you're missing out. It's one of those obscure DVDs. I got this at Family Video before they went out of business. I'm not sure how much it is to buy this now, but definitely worth it if you can find it. The second movie I watched on Wednesday is called The New Daughter with Kevin Costner. Now, this is a movie that you never thought you'd see Kevin Costner in because it's considered to be kind of a thriller, but it has a lot of horror elements, and it's almost like a creature feature. And you basically have, Kevin Costner's daughter. They're in this place, in this house, and she keeps looking out the window, out into the forest, and something's calling to her. And there's this mound. There's like this big, huge mound that's kind of ancient, and these mounds actually do exist. Like there's these mounds that exist all over the world, and they think that they've been made like thousands of years ago. Um, it's just like a bunch of debris and stuff, and like dirt and stuff that makes these mounds, and like they say like people like lived in them and stuff like that. They're almost like, imagine like a pyramid, but it's like a dirt mound. It's basically like the same thing, but there's like these creatures, these ancient creatures that live in this mound, and they're basically calling out to the daughter. Um, and Kevin Costner is trying to figure out what's going on. Very, very cool film, very different. Have it here on Blu-ray. I loved it ever since the first time I saw it. So, very, very good film. All right, guys, moving on to Thursday, I made it a Wild Eye Day. Okay, Wild Eye Releasing. Definitely go check out their website, wildeyereleasing.com. Even on YouTube, they have, their site there where it has a bunch of trailers and stuff like that. You can see the trailers for these two movies that I'm going to show you today. These movies are great. They are great. Wild Eye, independent horror company. They love the fans, and they send out screeners sometimes, but they do make some good quality films, and it's a shame that not a lot of people get to see them, and they don't get a lot of support as they should, because they're not like mainstream, but their movies do end up in retail stores like Walmart. You can find them there. So the first one I have here from Wild Eye is Plaguers. And what this is, I would say it's like Alien meets Doom. So if you combine Doom and Alien together, that's what Plaguers is. There's a transport vessel that is bound for Earth, and there's this alien virus on there that's accidentally released, and the contagion of it mutates the people into these like demonic creatures. They're almost like maybe zombies mixed with demons. So again, yeah, it kind of reminds me of Doom, but with like an alien atmosphere. Very, very cool. I love the effects. The trailer's badass. If you guys can check out the trailer. But yeah, they did such a good job on the effects, and this is a damn good one, guys. Plaguers. If you can check this one out, definitely do so. The other Wild Eye title I watched is called The Sitter, which also goes by another name. But this one is about this college student named Charlotte, and she's offered a job to cat sit. Yeah, babysitting a cat, basically. And these people live in this big, huge mansion, and they're going to offer her a vast sum of money to watch this cat. And so they show her around the house, but upstairs, like on the third floor or whatever, there's like this locked door, and she can't get in there. And so when she's there, watching the cat and stuff overnight, she starts hearing noises, people walking around. There's this entity or something that's behind that door. And as the movie progresses, you get to see her kind of hallucinate. Like, is there really something there, or is she just seeing stuff? But there's something evil there, and it's stalking her. It's really, really good, guys. The cinematography is great. It's just a damn good one. One of my favorite Wild Eye releasing titles right here. Okay, last up for Friday, I watched The Others. Now, I had not seen this movie since the theater. I saw this in the theater, and I really loved it with Nicole Kidman. Uh, Now, this is basically about this family that lives in this, big manor type building with some maids and butlers and stuff. And, the children have like some sort of medical condition. They can't open the curtains because if the sun shines through, they have this condition where they could die. And so they're living in this house, and there's all these rules that Nicole Kidman has. They can't leave the place. They can't go outside. They can't do nothing. And there seems to be a ghostly presence in this place. And it's very creepy. Some of the stuff is really creepy. They made fun of this movie, I think in Scary Movie. I don't remember what it was. Was it Scary Movie 3? One of the scary movies they parody this movie, but this has a twist to it that I never saw coming. And it's a very good twist. If you think about the twist that they do, it makes sense. It really does make sense. But Nicole Kidman was great. You really love to hate her, even though she just protects her children in this movie. You kind of feel like, okay, you shouldn't have kids. Like honestly, you look at her two ways. Yes, she's a good mother. She protects them, but at the same time, she's mean. And then in the twist, you when the twist happens, you hate her even more. But honestly, this is a shocking film. I remember when I saw this in the theater. Some people thought it was slow. I actually liked the story. I actually thought it was good. So it definitely holds up today. And the last one I watched, I think you've definitely never heard of, and that is called The Remaining. And what this is a supernatural like horror thriller about the end of the world, and the whole story about the rapture. It's a religious tone film turned into like a horror film. Like the last days, like the Bible talks about when people are raptured. People who aren't raptured have to live down, um, on the earth and be tortured and live through the tribulation and all that stuff. It's going to be really bad for those people, like really bad, like horror and all that stuff. Well, it's a good premise for a horror film because that's what happens here. People are raptured, and the way they're raptured is pretty cool. And the people who are left behind have to deal with these demonic entities that are killing people left and right. And so these group of people here on the front there, they have to survive. What's going on after being left behind. It's a really cool, like these kind of films, like the religious stuff, like when they turn it into a horror film or even like a thriller, this is how it's done, in my opinion. This is how it's done. This is The End, which is a horror comedy. That was really good too. And again, that was more of a comedy, but they had some really cool horror stuff there. I love it when they do that. And like I said, what better way to um, make a horror film trying to mimic what is supposed to happen during that time of the tribulation and the rapture when people are left behind. It's supposed to be terrible. Like things are supposed to happen, like demonic presence. People getting tortured and killed, and it's suffering. Um, that's what this is, and it's really good, guys. I got this from Family Video before they closed, and yeah, if you can find this movie, definitely check it out. The Remaining. So that is my weekly watch, guys. Really quick, I will recap for you. So Monday, I watched Reanimator Classic, and I also watched The Human Centipede 2 full sequence. Tuesday, I watched Eden Lake, as well as Hostel Part 2. All right. Wednesday, The Redwood Massacre, and The New Daughter. Thursday, Plaguers, as well as The Sitter. And Friday, we got The Others and The Remaining. So, hope you guys enjoyed this weekly watch video. Stay tuned for more of these every single week. And yeah, they might be random. I'll pick a theme, possibly. and we'll go from there. So thank you very much for watching this, and I'll see you next time.